Hello and welcome to the Monday Racing Chat here on Racers Now with myself and SD. We're going to be looking forward to one of SD's favourite races of the whole calendar, the great St Wilfrid at Ripon on Saturday, August the 16th. We've got the Hungerford Stakes from Newbury. Well, the jumps action returns at Market Rayton. They've got Tom Jones on. And on this very show last week, from one anti-post selection last week, SD gave one selection and it won at 6-1. Royal Dubai getting the job done in the Rose of Lancaster. SD, how are you?
Oh, very, very, very well. Best flat handicap of the year, the Great St Wilfrid. I enjoy it immensely. I mean, you go all the way back, don't you, to
Well, I don't.
32 years ago. Hard, you probably just a tadpole dancer. Hard to figure. Of course, winning for the Hodges, and then you remember greats like Pipalong. She was very good, very, very good. Old Smoking Bow won this. I remember back in D'Amica to win this for the Whitakers. Pepper Lane won it twice. I remember having a very good do on Staxton the year it won. And just another bottle. I mucked that up and dare to hope. And the last winner, trained outside of Yorkshire, of the Great St Wilfrid was when, sir?
2003.
It's 2009, but if you think of the geographical spread, it's some statistic, that, isn't it? And great to see Ripon charging racegoers competitively on Saturday, and the same, of course, for Ponte Carlo on Sunday. Now, the common denominator there is, of course, John Mullen, who's a very shrewd operator, John Mullen.
Guest of Racers Now on our chat about attending.
Not Jim Mullen. We've not got Jim Mullen on yet. I'm sure that'll be coming at around Christmas time.
Well, and SD last year on this great St Wilfrid Day tipped up Grant Wood to win the unofficial consolation race, 11-1, 1 point each way. Tipped up Dare to Hope to win the race itself, 9.5-1, 1 point each way. So the form is there, SD, and your miles up this year on the YouTube selections as usual. Right, is that where we're going to start then, SD, with the Great St Wilfrid itself?
Spelled with heavens! I'm just looking back. I can remember. I mean, obviously, you know Willie Carson. I can remember Ernie Johnson riding, who rode the 1970 winner Bream, and Ernie Weems training. I can remember both of those in their respective positions. And Steve Perks, who, of course, rode the 1972 winner. Don't you feel old?
Yes.
You'll not remember Steve Perks, will you?
No. Who's going to win this year?
I think we'll start off and say my opinion is it is a below par renewal. Okay. It lacks horses who are on the up. There are a lot of them exposed. There's quite a few of them who haven't run at Ripon. Now, Ripon in itself is a idiosyncratic track, and it's quite a specialist course as well. So it is always worth bearing in mind. Now, the weather forecast is predominantly dry. You're gonna want a high draw. You certainly it is great on soft ground at Ripon when they all just dart to their right and you want a low draw, but you're probably gonna want a high draw. I mean, I don't know if Anath's gonna run, who's chalked up as favourite, and arguably does have a class edge on these, but it was only 12th last time, and once I get the case, still in at York next week. I just wouldn't be surprised if they went there. Just a word on Faltimore. Great horse around Ripon. When it's quick ground, Faltimore either doesn't run or just tends not to run very well. Grant Wood at a price, of course, won the Consolation last year. It was a bit lackluster last time. And then you're going through them and you're thinking, Orazio's in here again. You can't keep giving that bloody thing chances. I thought Secret Guest ran an absolute belter in this last year, and he is the selection. He was third in this on quick ground. I don't think we've a Dare to Hope or a Ramazan in here, to be quite honest.
No.
Brian Smart, of course, has won the race has won the race before. Clearly likes Ripon. He's in form. Well, we'll need to be informed. He is £3 higher than last year, but everything is relative in a handicap. And if they're, I wouldn't go as far as old plodders, but if the opposition isn't up to scratch, it becomes a bit more relative. Second last time, I'd like to see him not blow the start, but I I thought he was solid. I thought he ticked every box, and it's just going to be a question of if something progresses past him. I'm not sure there's one in there. Have you looked at the race, sir? The fantastic Great St. Wilfrid.
I have a little bit, SD. There's not many times that I blindly follow you for someone that tips every day. And that is definitely to my detriment, given your tipping record, which is fantastic. But this is a race where I do take notice of you. You mentioned Stakston earlier. So, yeah, I will be following you broadly. But that's not what people tune in for me to bow down to USD. So I'm going to ask you about the one that stands out to me a little bit is Nostrum, right? Probably completely gone at the game, might be completely gone at the game, but this will be his first time in a handicap since joining Dave O'Meara, which I thought was half interesting. He's ran this year for Dave, having been, I think he was with Sir Michael, wasn't he, and Judmont until the end of last year. So I wondered if that was half interesting. He was actually still with Judmont until June this year. Late June, he made his debut for O'Meara. Group 3, Group 2, Group 2. Now he's dropped £7 in the handicap since joining O'Meara. Has been running like shit. But I thought he was half interesting.
Is he a sprinter? I thought, is he a sprinter? And he's faced 24 rivals and has been beaten by 21 of them this year. I mean, it's hardly... I mean, David does have a very good record in the Great St. Wilfrid, of course.
And then the other one
he's
to
had
me,
his balls off, he's had his win done.
Everything. The other one to me was possibly, that just stands out a little bit, Saeed bin Suror just whacks above his weight all the while. But it's City Walk. He's 8 years old, only had one run this season in the UK. So again, that's just going from from someone who doesn't really pay a whole lot of attention that often to the Yorkshire trainers. It's a Yorkshire race, as you say. So the short answer to your question is no, thank you.
No, thank you.
We're going to have a look at the Consolation race as well, although it's not called the Consolation race. Class 4 handicap. There's not often that Class 4 handicaps are priced up on a Monday for a Saturday, but this is what we get this week. So this is...
thank God they have. Thank God they have.
No, this is 6 furlongs, directly preceding the Great St. Wilfrid. 6 furlongs, 0 to 80. So there won't be that many that are double entered, will there, SD? There might be a handful.
There's a few. There's a few.
So yeah, anyone, but there's 24 entered in the main event, and the maximum of 20 of them are going to go. So there's only really, if they all declare, there's only going to be a maximum of 4 actually fall into that Consolation race. There might not be any, to be honest, when you start questioning the likes of ANAF, participation, etc. Anyway, anything take your eye in the Silver Cup handicap as it's officially called?
Oh, very much so. Very much so. They've been farting around with another Baar all year, right? They've tried 7 furlongs. They tried a mile at one point. I mean, that's like trying to say, SD, go and win Miss World. I mean, madness. They've run at 5 the last twice. Only raced it at 6 furlong once. Another Baar is an out-and-out 6 furlong horse, and he ran very, very well in this last year when second. Off a mark of 70. The mark is down to 67. Adrian Keatley, knows his onions like a Frenchman making soup, and you can't help but think they've thought, well, this is a half decent pot. We're gonna have a go. Horses won at Ripon. I was very, very surprised that this horse was double figures. There's a lot in there, and to an extent, you're ground dependent. If it comes out on Saturday and it's drawn 1, I'll be hopping mad, to be quite honest. But I think he's got a very, very fair chance. I'd like him to be drawn somewhere near Cat's Bob to get a lovely, lovely toe into the race, and I was surprised. I wouldn't be laying. I'd have him at about 6, to be honest.
They have been floating around with him though, SD, have they not? I mean, like you,
Well,
as
I've
you,
just said they've been
yeah, I
farting
know.
around.
That is quite silly, really. I mean, yeah, this year
Well,
since
is
April,
it silly? Is
seven,
it
7.
silly?
Yeah, no, we're only talking about 12.5 grand to the winner. 7, 7, 8, 6 really ran well. Obviously, the best of the bunch. 5 and 5. I mean, questionable. But look, if they can land it, fair play. But it's a long way around.
I remember seeing him run over a mile at first. So what the hell are you doing? Are you going to try and go hurdling with him or something?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, he's back here. He's back here. That's the main
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
I think he's a very, want to be laying double figures.
Yep.
Would you?
Fair enough. No, I'm following you on that one as well. Right, we're going to go over to Newbury then, SD. Main event to come. But firstly, I did a bit of an update last week on the St. Ledger, and I thought that, as always, when we get to this stage with some anti-post races, it's a question of what will run. There's loads to come out. Aidan's got loads in there. The usual story. Nighttime Dancer was one that SD tipped for the St. Ledger way back in June after he ran in the Derby third. Well, I was wondering. After he ran in the Derby, I was wondering where he was, because we've not seen him since the Bahrain Trophy, where he was 8.5 lengths behind Scandinavia, but there was nearly 4 lengths in front of everything else. We know what Scandinavia has been undone since then. SD tipped him to win the Goodwood Cup. So I just think Nighttime Dancer's a really interesting runner for this weekend. I probably should be tipping him on the back of that, but it's just good to see him alive and well, and I might well tip him.
Here's the pro. I did say to you last week, and I didn't have any inside info he'd run in this. Here's the problem.
Yep.
Cannon is absolutely fetid at the moment. Terrible.
1 out of the last 52.
I got 56, but
you're right. 1 out of the last 56.
It's a concern for a yard of that stature, isn't it? I backed him for the Ledger. I could see him getting a place in the Ledger, to be honest. I hope
it's just what's going to run. It's just what's going to run. I said last week, I think it was Thursday. Other than I can see him being the best of the British horses, definitely. I can definitely see that, and he's 40-1. Talking of the Ledger, this pinhole that won a Ascot handicap, having not done a whole lot this year, prior to that in 2 starts, pinhole for Beckett, whose season has turned around. His season's on the up hand, and it appears to be going through a tricky spot at the moment. Beckett has definitely turned it around since around that King George weekend into Goodwood and carried on to now. So yeah, pinhole's going to be coming out of a handicap for the first time. He has gone up £8 for that handicap win. This is not a handicap. I'm just giving you his rating. And this one's open to older horses as well. So I thought it's an interesting race, that Jeffrey Freer. But you're probably going to question my logic here, SD. But given that Hannon's out of form and Pinon may well be good here, I think Nighttime Dancer is the best value in the Ledger market. So there you go. You can have a bit of that on screen there, SD.
Well, you're just tipping mine now.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I do everything in my power on a daily basis to disagree with you. But now and again, I come round to agreeing with you, which is
it's great. You're like a nodding dog tonight. I mean, you missed this before we came on air, viewers. Honestly, he thought he was Terry Wogan. He had all his DJs set up like this, and of course, it didn't bloody work.
Yeah, the microphone's on the blink, to be honest. So yeah.
Well, you just need to stop thinking that you're some top DJ. You're not playing, Nebworth with all the people with the ecstasy pills now.
SD, I do the hosting, you do the tipping. It works quite well here on Races Now. Right, we're going to be looking at the main event then from Newbury on Saturday, which is...
Yeah, I'll just make my case for this race. It shouldn't exist.
Yes, I agree.
I have thought long and hard and thought, well, where else could they put it? And if it's going to be run at Newbury, the answer is you can't put it anywhere. You can't have a 4-year-old and upwards Group 2 on Greenham Day. You couldn't put it on Lockinge Day. You couldn't put it on Super Sprint Day due to the proximity with Goodwood. Today, interferes with the City of York. We've got a race elevated to Group 1 status and a sort of consolation a week earlier. You can't put it on Mill Reef Day because they've 2 7-furlong group races the week before at Doncaster. Just get rid of the bloody thing. It is stifling competition, this race.
Yeah, this is something we agree on.
We've got the Celebration Mile as well, by the way, next week.
Next Saturday, yeah.
Yeah.
So we
Sunday, I think it is.
We basically in this country only have 3 quality all-age 7-furlong races, let's say Group 2 or above. And they take place within 26 days of each other. So for the first time ever, one of them has been upgraded. The City of York Stakes over 7 furlongs at York, obviously.
Is the Park not a Group 2 as well?
These ones come in quick succession, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
This year we've got Group 2, Group 1 in 26 days. Is just crazy to have the Hungerford Stakes. And we're not blessed with a massive depth of 7-furlong horses. Look, there's only 12 entered here at the 5-day stage. For example, the Lennox wasn't a massive field this year. It's plenty of the same horses are turning up. So yeah, to have a Group 2 7 furlongs and then 7 days later have a Group 1 7 furlongs, it's madness. It's probably not Newbury's fault.
No, I don't think, although I disagree with Newbury's admission charge. It's £52 in tax with the obligatory £2 booking fee this week and 25 quid if you want to take your kid and watch Tom Jones. I disagree with Newbury's admission stance this weekend, but I have to say it isn't Newbury's fault.
No,
but just get rid of the race. We'll be looking at the City of York next week, and we'll be looking at 7 or 8 runners. What would happen if we got rid of the Hungerford? I'd have 10, 11, 12.
But then, Esther, say they got rid of the race, the day fixture would still remain, and then the best race on there would be the Geoffrey Freer. But like you're saying, maybe it doesn't need a feature race because they've got a feature act on afterwards, and that's where they charge the money.
They have. All ITV need to do is put the Hornblower Stakes on from Ripon.
Having said all of that, this Hungerford, where we've got the 5-dayers now, what we're about to talk about, I don't think has had that much or will have that much impact on York. I think there's only 1 or 2 that might.
Well, just imagine if the race didn't exist, right?
Oh yeah, but
would we have King's Gamble, Ali and Narby, possibly Notable Speech, although that may go to France, Fair Angelica, Ranger Bambi, Shadow of Light as Thigh Chief running in the City of York? I think you'd have a few of those.
SD, sir, the City of York Stakes entries have been the long-term entries. More Thunder isn't in it. King's Gamble's not in it. But
what I'm saying is the reason they're not
is not in it. I don't think Range of Bambi's in it. There's actually, after all we've said, there's actually quite a few in this.
But here's my point. Would they be in it if this didn't exist?
Yeah, but why wouldn't they be in the City of York?
Because they're not good enough. So you might say I'm answering my own question, but I don't think any of us are going to sit here and say, for example, Ali and Arby have been a City of York, but they might have a go in it. They have a go in the let's just take a race, a race like the July Cup. Now that's probably a bad example because there's a chip chase the week before. But if you narrow the number of races these horses can run in, you end up. I mean, look at the City of York last year; it was a farce.
Yes, but mainly I was a victim of. Anyway, this year, Notable Speech is currently in there at 9 to 4 for this Hungerford. It looks like he's going to be running in the Group 1 Jacques Lemarrois over a mile in Deauville on Sunday. So he can probably come out of the thinking. More Thunder does look like an intended runner here, and he's a very interesting one because remember the same owners have got Never So Brave that is pretty much the favourite and tipped up by SD for the City of York itself. Shadow of Light ran over the weekend, not great in that Jean Prat over in France, so he can't be relied on to run. I don't know I know you've not necessarily got a bet, SD, but I wondered what you made of it.
Well, I did think if this cut up a bit, and we don't know if it will, I was just struck with what Willie Haggis said after the Bunbury Cup. I think More Thunder is better going fast. Tom came in and said if we run over this trip again, they'll need to go hard. He feels 6 is his best distance. I think he deserves a shot at a group race now. We had wanted to go to 7 at some stage, and today was a good opportunity. We'll have a crack at a 6 furlong sprint now.
Right.
It was just interesting what Haggis said.
Yeah, and this is a 7 furlong. But you know the race where he might end up in, it might end up being too soft. He'll end up there on Champions Day, won't he? Over 6 furlongs.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've got to try and possibly, you know, you'd have a think about the Sprint Cup, but I wasn't terribly impressed with him at Newmarket. I thought he won despite being. I mean, bloody hell, he's hard work, isn't he?
He's a tough watch if you backed him, but you know he was drawn far side, finished near side in that Bunbury Cup. Very, very.
Yeah.
And then again, the Bunbury Cup this year only had 12 runners, so we're going back round in that circle again. There's no superstar in here. I think More Thunder probably is the best bet in there at the moment, on the assumption that Notable Speech doesn't run. And even if he did, Notable Speech might provide some value to the market. I thought he was no good in the July Cup. You thought he ran with a bit of credit, don't you, in the July Cup? I don't know. I think he's clearly going backwards, Notable Speech. They're running out of ideas with him. This will be his 3rd trip in 3 starts. No. But it does look like he's going to France anyway.
I think King's Gamble's a chance.
Rage
was a very good run last time. Looked a bit ring rusty, didn't he?
Yeah.
And I would just flag up. It depends how many run and whether he'll run, and if Hughes has a winner this week. I thought Fair Angelica. I thought at Goodwood completely blew the start she did, but she performed with a degree of credit that day. Hughes is another one who's out of form, but were they to start going with a bit more regularity this week, she would come into the equation as well. She might not be good enough.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, where were you this weekend then, Esty?
I'll be at Doncaster on Saturday.
Yeah,
for a change.
And
Ponte Carlo on Sunday, and it looks like friend of the channel will be at Ponte Carlo. Now let's hope nobody vomits in his bookie bag this time, as last time when he had to go to the horse wash.
I think he came out a net winner there, though, Esty, because he got his bag cleaned, and I'm guessing he's never cleaned that bag before.
There's all sorts of stuff. I'm not well versed into John's cleaning habits, unfortunately.
Okay. Okay, good. Right. Anything else to cover, Esty? Fixture list?
What happened? Again, Owen Burrows, target trainer, won at
he's best in the country. He's best in.
I have to say that I was worried 2 furlongs out. Callum Rodriguez, the horse, got him out of trouble, didn't he? I thought that was interesting. I thought it was very interesting. On Sunday, the pronounced draw bias at Haydock on the stand side, and if they run the Sprint Cup on the outer track, you're going to want a high draw. I thought that was tremendously interesting. And it's a fairly quiet. There's a decent card tomorrow at Hamilton. I understand friend of the channel will be at Carlisle tomorrow as well.
Yep, there'll be a few of our mates at Carlisle. Mick Eckley, Garrity, Pino probably there at Carlisle.
Oh no, he's golfing this week or something.
Oh, right.
Yes,
and looking forward to York as well, SD, next week.
Immensely, aren't I? I'll obviously not be there. I'll be at, where am I next week? Oh, it's quietish week. Wolverhampton Tuesday, Newmarket Friday, and Yarmouth Sunday.
Oh yeah, SD's on his summer holiday down in the in East Anglia. Punters panel will be returning to the new look oddsnow.com this week. SD will obviously feature there. Thursday I'm away, so Harry's going to be hosting. Anything could happen there, so please be nice to him, SD, if that's within your compass.
Well, I'm sure Harry will do his usual impression, and I'll say, "Good evening, Harry," and he'll go, "There we go."
Well, this is it's the pressure when working with superstars like you. Right,
Yes.
we'll be back tomorrow with the dailies as usual, showing a big profit. And we'll be back Thursday, and then God knows what we're going to do next week for York. We'll definitely have a chat on Monday, and then we'll do some sort of daily content.
Yes, I'm at Wolverhampton Tuesday.
Yeah, well, we won't be speaking Tuesday, but yeah. Okay, great. See you soon.
Bye-bye.